Good day, everyone. We are the Group 7. Bali, ang kaper ko is si Ariana Panglanan. Bali, ang napili naming article is Galras Disease Incidence of Falcata, which is the Paraseriantes falcataria in falcata-based agroforestry system in Misamis Oriental, Philippines. Bali, ang study na to is kung paano nakaka-effect ang Galras disease sa falcata tree. Then, examine rin ng mga researchers kung gaano ka-common ang disease na to sa Misamis Oriental farms. Introduction Part 1, Description and Analysis. Objectives, scope, and limitation of the paper. To determine the status of Galras disease incidence. Ang study na to is nag-aim na ma-find out kung paano nag-widespread ang disease and inobserve rin ng mga researchers kung rare ba ang disease na yun or common o kundi kaya severe siya within the study area. Then, to identify environmental factors influencing disease occurrence. Bale, dito rin natin malalaman kung bakit lumalala yung pag-spread ng disease and kung anong environmental factors ba ang nakaka-influence nito. Then, to examine a total of 140 agroforestry farms using 10% sampling intensity per hectare. Then, nag-examine ang mga researchers ng 140 different farms na may mga falcata trees. Then, gumamit sila ng 10% sampling intensity per hectare, meaning 10% lang ng falcata trees ang chinek nila kada hectare. Then, to focus on falcata-based agroforestry system. Nakafocus lang yung mga researchers sa mga farms na may mga grown falcata trees together with the crops. Bale, hindi na rin kasali dito yung mga pure trees plantation and pati ng mga farms sa other regions kasi nga nakafocus lang sila sa specifically agroforestry. Sa general background of the organisms is ang Galras disease is caused siya ng fungus which is the Euromycladium temperanium. It is one of the most destructive pathogens na nakaka-effect siya sa falcata trees. Causes by abnormal swelling or yung tinatawag na galls. Na makikita siya sa stem ng falcata, sa mga branches niya at pati na rin sa twigs. Then it weakens the tree and reduces growth, pati na rin yung productivity ng falcata tree plant. First is reported as a epidemic outbreak sa Mindanao noong 1990. Bale, nag-spread naman siya throughout the Philippines by 1995. Then, continues naman to threaten farmers who depend on falcata for income. Kasi dahil dito sa Galras disease na caused by fungus is bumababa yung income ng mga farmers. General characteristics and importance in forestry. Then, ang falcata or ang Paraseriantes falcataria is a fast-growing tree species widely used in agroforestry. Dahil nga sa fast-growing ang falcata, ito yung laging tinatanim nila sa mga agroforestry farms and sa iba pang plantation kasi malaki yung use nito sa kanila, sa atin, for timber production, plywood manufacturing, and carbon sequestration. Nakaka-help siya mag-reduce ng pressure on natural forest. And then, sa mga farmers naman, is hindi na nila kailangan mang-harvest ng timber sa mga natural forest. Kasi nga, karamihan sa mga farmers is nakadepend lang sila sa falcata bilang source ng livelihood and income nila. Bale, ang gall rust disease kasi is nakakasira ng timber quality dahilan ng pagbaba ng income nila kasi nga nade-decrease ang timber production nila dahil bumabagal rin ang growth ng falcata trees. Yung iba naman is namamatay na lang. Sa history of occurrence or outbreak, una siyang na-observe in the Philippines noong 1990 sa Mindanao. Ito sa Mindanao. Bale, after 5 years is nag-spread siya sa Luzon and Visayas. Then remains widespread even after 2 decades. Then, study confirmed that the gall rust is still very common in Misamis Oriental. Classification of organisms. So, yun nga, ang gall rust disease is caused siya by fungus which is the Euromycladium temperanium. Belong siya sa rust fungi. Bali, ang rust fungi naman is ito yung plant parasites. Then, ini-infect nila yung living plants tissues in order to survive. Then, nag-spread sila sa pamamagitan ng high humidity, favorable temperature, pati ng presence ng host plants. That's why mabilis mag-spread and nakaka-effect sa mga trees ang fungus. Number 2 is specific biological characteristics and dynamics. Morphology and life cycle is ang main symptoms niya ay round or irregular galls on twigs, branches, pati na rin sa stem. Kasi yung fungus is usually infects young pati actively growing tissues ng falcata. Ang fungus na yun is nag-produce siya ng spores. Ang fungus infects young tissues. Then, nade-develop yung galls sa tree. Tsaka naman, napoproduce yung spores. Then, yung spores yun is nag-spread siya to nearby trees dahil doon nagkakaroon ng new infections. Basta, ang falcata trees is nai-infect siya mula seedling stage to mature trees. Then, mode of reproduction and dispersal. Nare-reproduce naman yung fungus by producing spores. Kasi yung spores ay maliit siya at lightweight. That's why madali lang din siyang madala ng hangin. Then, dahil rin sa environmental conditions is tumataas ang infection dahil sa moist condition and mahinang speed ng hangin. That's why mahirap siyang i-control. Then, sa host relationship and infection or attack process, ang fungus is napipenetrates sa young falcata tissues, then causes abnormal cell growth and forming galls. Tree energy is redirected to gall formation instead of normal growth. Then, infected, the tree become weak and vulnerable to stress. Bali, nai-infect ng fungus ang young tissues ng falcata kasi soft pa yung tissue niya tulad ng young branches ng twigs and ng stem. Kaya mas nagiging vulnerable siya kasi yung protective layers is still thin pa siya. Then, after ma-infect yung falcata tree, is nagkakaroon siya ng abnormal cell growth, kaya nabubuo yung galls or nagkakaroon ng large swelling. Bali, yung infected na tree is nag-uumpisa na siyang i-use yung nutrients and energy to form the gall instead na mag-grow ng maayos yung infected falcata tree. Kaya nagiging weaker, less productive, and mas nagiging sensitive siya sa environmental stress. Sa damage development and progression, sa early stage is mapapansin natin doon ang small swelling sa twigs ng isang falcata tree. Then, later stage naman is makikita na natin doon yung large gall sa branches and sa stem. Then, severe infection leads to branch breakage na puputol na or nasisira na yung branch ng falcata tree. Then, deformity and possible na mamatay yung falcata tree na yun. Then, sa young trees naman is defoliation and reduces growth. Bale, sa defoliation is doon natin mapapansin or makikita yung paglalagas ng dahon dahil sa stress na nakukuha ng young trees. Young plant. Trees plant. Sa mature trees naman is dito na yung lower timber quality, which is naapektuhan yung mga farmers kasi mahirap mabenta yung mga falcata timber na nade-deform, and kung mabenta man siya is nasa mababang halaga na siya. The environmental influence on development, disease development favored by high relative humidity, which is 90% or above, then cooler temperatures, low wind speed, then evaluation influences humidity. Then lastly, high evaluation areas shows high disease incidence. Nag-i-increase ang infection kapag nag-reach ng 90% and above ang humidity. Then dahil sa moist condition, nag-germinate ang fungal spores and mas madali niyang nai-infect yung plant. Tapos naman, kapag moderate or cooler temperature, nai-help rin niya na mag-grow and mag-produce ng mas mabilis ang fungus. Lalo na kapag mabagal yung speed ng hangin kasi nag-stay siya ng matagal sa air, kaya yung spores is mas nag-i-increase yung infection chances niya. Kaya yung mga farms na located sa high evaluation areas is mas higher yung gall rust incidence. Number 3 is ecological distribution and requirements. Sa ecological conditions where the organisms occurs, it occurs at 152 to 975 meter above the sea level. Then higher incidence in elevated and sloping areas. Moist environment with dense surrounding vegetation promotes spread. Mas nag-spread yung disease kapag nasa moist environment siya. Then, common in upland agroforestry system. Sa host range and primary type affected, primary host falcata trees. Then, found in agroforestry system such as intercropping, alley cropping, multi-story farming, then woodlots, boundary planting, and affect tree age 1 to 9 years, meaning lahat ng stages ng falcata tree is vulnerable. Vulnerable siya sa fungus, which is yung nagkukos ng gall rust disease. Sa intercropping is, eto na yung trees na grown together with the agricultural crops. While sa alley cropping naman is trees na tinanim in row, then crops grown in between the trees. Then, sa multi-story farming, ang different plant grown in a different height level. Then, sa woodlots, ito na yung mga small areas na tinataniman mainly for timber production lang. Then, sa boundary planting naman, ito na yung mga trees na tinanim along farm borders or sa mga edges. Yung nakapalibot lang din siya sa mga gilid-gilid lang. Number 4, effects of organisms. Type of damage to forest stands. Causes stem galls, branch swelling, and structural deformities. Then, affected stands appear unhealthy and uneven. Then, some areas like Gingoog City and Claveria classified as a very common disease status. Then, sa effect on growth, regeneration and mortality, sa disease incidence is weakly related to the tree age. Then, young seedling naman may experience heavy damage. Then, sa severe infection can reduce regeneration success. Ito na yung nare-reduce niya yung ability ng tree na mag-grow and regenerate. Tapos, may cause tree mortality, poorly managed farms. Naglilids naman ito sa pwedeng mamatay yung tree dahil sa poorly managed farm. Then, impacts on wood quality and forest productivity. Then, galls cause irregular stem shape. Then, nagkakaroon ng deformation yung stem ng falcata na merong galls. Then, weakened wood structure. Tapos, nare-reduce niya rin yung market value ng timber. Kasi nga, yun, nasisira yung falcata tree, nade-deform siya. Kaya, hindi siya nabibenta. Kasi mas prefer ng mga buyer yung straight na timber ng falcata. Then, directly affect farm productivity and farmer income. So, yun lang. Thank you.
Good day everyone. I am Ariana Pangilamin, the continuation of the report of Miss Kusain. So, ang topic ko is forest management disease control. So, pag sinabi natin forest management disease control, is ito na yung pagkontrol ng sakit sa kagubatan. So, ang point dito is tungkol sa kung paano makontrol ang mga sakit ng puno sa kagubatan, lalo na sa agroforestry farms kung saan nagtatanim ng mga puno para sa kahoy at kabuhayan ng mga magsasaka. So, ang pangunahing layunin nila is mapanatiling malusog ang mga puno at maiwasan din ang pagkalat ng sakit. Let's talk about the importance of control in forest management. So, first is disease control is essential for sustainable agroforestry production. So, dito is napipigilan daw ang mabilis na pagkalat ng sakit sa mga puno. So, the next one is prevents rapid disease spread and financial loss. So, dito is nababawasan daw ang pagkalugi ng mga magsasaka dahil kapag may sakit ang puno, bumababa ang kalidad ng kahoy. The next one is maintains long-term timber production. So, dito is napapanatili daw ang pangmatagalang production ng timber o kahoy. And then the last one of importance of control in forest management is protect environmental benefits. So, dito is napoprotektahan ng kalikasan dahil ang malusog na kagubatan ay mahalaga sa biodiversity, lupa at klima. So, in short is kung hindi makontrol ang sakit, So, maaring mamatay ang maraming puno at mawalan ng kita ang mga magsasaka. Next is technology level. So, dito naman sa technology level is ipinapakita dito na kailangan ng kaalaman at teknolohiya para makontrol ang sakit sa kagubatan. First is require regular farm monitoring and inspection. So dito is dapat daw is regular na pagmo-monitor or pag-inspection sa mga puno. Second is use of tools such as GPS to record elevation. So dito daw is kailangan daw is gumamit ng GPS para malaman ang location o taas ng lugar or elevation ng taniman. Third is farmers must recognize disease symptoms early. So dito daw is kailangan is dapat maagang makilala ng magsasaka ang sintomas ng sakit sa puno. The last one is advanced control may require technical knowledge and cooperation. So dito is mga paraan ng pagkontrol na nangangailangan ng technical na kaalaman at tulong ng eksperto. So ibig sabihin is mahalaga ang kaalaman at tamang paggamit ng teknolohiya or technology sa pag-aalaga ng kagubatan. Okay, let's proceed to control practices. So dito is may iba't ibang paraan para makontrol ang sakit ng puno. So first is cultural control, proper tree spacing to reduce humidity. So dito is tamang distansya or spacing ng mga puno sa pagtatanim. And then wider spacing improves airflow and reduces disease. So kapag maluwag daw ang pagitan ng puno is mas maayos ang daloy ng hangin. And then nakakatulong ito para mabawasan ang mahumigmig or humidity sa sanhi ng fungal disease. Next is mechanical control, pruning infected branches. So dito naman is yung pagputol o pruning ng mga nahahawang sanga or nahawaang sanga. So nakakatulong ito upang hindi kumalat ang sakit sa ibang bahagi ng puno. And then the biological and chemical control can be used carefully. So ito na yung paggamit ng natural na organism na lumalaban sa sakit. So maingat nilang ginagamit ang chemical tulad ng fungicides kung kinakailangan. So in short na lang is inaalaga ng kapaligiran ng puno at tinatanggal ang may sakit na bahagi upang mapigilan ang pagkalat ng sakit. Let's proceed to the management, environment, and application. So first is recommended for high elevation farms. Second, important in densely planted agroforestry system. Third, common in UPID environments. Fourth is required regular monitoring and early preventive action. So, meaning is, ang pag-aaral daw na ito is karaniwang daw is ginagawa sa mga lugar na matataas ang elevation o bundok. So, siksik ang pagtatanim ng mga puno, mahalumigmig ang klima. So, sa ganitong kondisyon is mas madaling kumalat ang fungal disease kaya mahalaga ang regular na pagmumonitor at maagang pag-iwas sa sakit. So next is limitation of the study. So study limited to selected municipalities in Misamis Oriental. So dito daw is ginagawa lamang ito sa ilang munisipalidad sa Misamis Oriental. And then disease incidence assessed only once. So isang beses lamang sinusuri ang sakit. So hindi pangmatagalang pagmomonitor. Next is long-term monitoring is recommended. Future studies should include sessional analysis and genetic resistant research. So, magkakaroon sila ng sessional analysis and then pag-aaral sa genetic resistant ng mga puno. So, ibig sabihin is kailangan pa ng mas maraming pag-aaral para mas maintindihan ang sakit sa mga kagubatan. Scope for wider application. So, first is useful for agroforestry management in other parts of Mindanao. So, dito is mga resulta ng pag-aaral ay mahalagang gamitin sa ibang agroforestry farm sa Mindanao. So, applicable to other regions in the Philippines. Galras disease also occurs in Malaysia and Indonesia. So dito sa iba pang rehiyon sa Pilipinas, so tulad ng Malaysia at Indonesia, so doon is may sakit pala na katulad ng Galras disease. And farmer awareness and proper spacing reduce disease incidence. So dito daw is kailangan is mapatunayan din ng mga tamang spacing ng puno at kaalaman ng mga magsasaka para makakatulong ito upang mabawasan ang pagkalat ng sakit sa mga puno.